Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast. My name is Ron Pashery, columnist for TJRWrestling.net. I'm here with my good friend Aaron Lloyd. I'm here with Ek2 Fly, Eric Trembicki, back-to-back weeks after a 2-week absence. Real quick before we get started, Aaron and I attended an NXT live show at the Tower Theater in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Great show, right?
Amazing. As always, NXT is always way better than any WWE product. You forgot one of the most important things, Ron. We were there with our number one fan, Ronald the Goat Lloyd.
Ronald the Goat Lloyd was in attendance. He was there before either one of us.
Yes, he was there for all of us, on time, ready to go, marked out the whole night.
Held our spot in line.
Yep.
In the cold.
Great fan. And we were also there with one of our friends of the show and great supporters of the Thrift Society. They were there with us, experiencing their first show.
First ever wrestling show. It's a good way to get started with an NXT show.
Yes, and for you guys want to meet anybody at the Thrift Society, they will be at the Milo Festival this Thursday, February 25th, from 7 to 10 o'clock. The show and event is free with RSVP. So after you're done watching us on YouTube, go to the show. Just go to the show. Or as you go to the show, listen to us.
Yeah,
a little bit of both.
Pop us on in the car.
Yes.
Does anyone recognize you?
Yes. And when you get there, to the people at Thrift Society, tell them that the marks from Matt Madness sent you.
Well, yeah, I guess one more thing then. While we were waiting in line for the NXT show, it was Aaron, myself, and, as we said, the GOAT, Ronald Lloyd. A gentleman makes a U-turn straight over to us, says, "You guys are Matt Madness, right?" And I know I lit up. I think Aaron might have been on the phone. I said, "Yeah, I am, actually. Nice to meet you." He goes, "Oh, I'm Eric's friend." And
He had the bed. I'm not even there. My name rings bells.
Took all our thunder.
I think for about 1.3 seconds, I was like, somebody actually recognized it. And then somebody only recognized
You're recognized as Eric's friends.
as Eric's
You're
friend,
my colleagues, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of a nice way of saying,
co-stars.
you're Eric's friend, right?
I did do a Make-A-Wish that night.
Oh, you did?
And the guy actually has a store. And I have to check it out. It's called M&A Universe. I have to check it out. He sells belts.
M&A, three letters?
Yes. He sells wrestling memorabilia. He has belts. So I recommend we all look at that.
I will. I actually meant to do it that night. I just didn't get around to it. So, yes, the NXT show was great. What was the highlight of that show for you?
It was so much, Endo and Cass, Finn Balor came out. I got to see Austin Aries for the first time in person. The atmosphere and the chants. I don't have anything directly that was my favorite, but I enjoyed the entire show. Being there, the atmosphere of NXT is kind of like, I'm not old enough to say territories, but it reminds you.
It is like a territory.
It is like a territory feeling. Everybody has an opinion. It's 50-50, and when somebody hates you, they legit hate you,
right?
And do not like you.
Yes,
like Elias.
There was a lot of heat in that
Elias
building.
Sampson. Elias Sampson. I can't. This is a family show. I can't say what they were saying to him.
Right.
And then Eva Marie. I tried to get his chant going, but it wasn't happening. But the atmosphere is my favorite thing about going to NXT.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think for me specifically, I was there for the 2 shows last May. We all know I'm a big supporter of women's wrestling. The one night we had Sasha and Charlotte main event the show. The next night, to end the first part of the show, was a fatal 4-way with the 4 horsewomen. Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky. Mm-hmm. We had a Bayley match. And I think Bayley, as great as she was in May, has grown so much in the last 8 or 9 months. She gets the crowd into it. She's doing other people's gimmicks out there. I mean, she was leading a yes chant at one point. She was doing the perfect 10 cartwheel at one point.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's grown by leaps and bounds as a performer. I can't wait till she's on the main roster. I mean, I love her as the NXT Women's Champion, but I love her. I'd love to see her on the main roster.
Let's hope it's not a demotion to the main roster.
Correct. Well, they're all demotions to the main roster. But NXT aside, thank you, NXT, Triple H, everybody involved for bringing it to our city once again. It's always a great time.
Ron, I got to ask, since I wasn't there.
Yes.
in comparison to May's show to last week's show, which one did you appreciate more? I was there with you last year. Wasn't able to join. What would you say?
I appreciated last year's a little more.
Okay. I think it was the better top to bottom.
I think one, it was new. Like, I had never seen an NXT show before. I wasn't sure. I thought I'd have to go to Orlando to see one. So.
It was the first time they started touring too.
Yes. Yeah. Sasha Banks was there. Obviously, that's my main draw for NXT at that time. So she obviously wasn't there this time. Kevin Owens was there last time. So now that's not to slight this show. It was a great time, awesome show. But if I could do one
slightly
again,
stronger card last.
Yes. Time. If I could do one over again, I would probably do the first night last year. In May.
Even the after party?
After party was the first night.
Yes, we thought we were going to drink with Triple H at the Hilton in Philadelphia. It didn't work out.
I still can't figure out, Triple H, why didn't you answer my DMs? How should I get them? But...
Mick Foley didn't answer mine either, so you weren't alone. Well, but with that said...
Noelle didn't answer my DMs either, so...
Yeah, she does. I guess not. She didn't answer mine either. But we had Fastlane this weekend.
Good thing I haven't sent her any pictures.
That probably is a good thing. Well, maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess we could talk about that eventually. We'll try to find a good headshot of you to send.
Oh, a headshot. I wasn't thinking that. That's probably a better way to go.
I probably could have worded that better. Fastlane this weekend. They're trying to make it an A-level show between the Rumble and WrestleMania. I personally did not feel it lived up to that. Eric, what do you think?
I mean, would it live up to an A-level show? I wouldn't say no. I think the quality of the matches were decent. It just seemed like everything was a little too predictable. There was nothing that was too wow. But I wouldn't say the show was terrible. I mean...
So it was good, not great.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year, it might have been better than last year's Fastlane.
Probably.
Performance-wise, at least.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with any of the talent on this show. Aaron?
Well... The first 2 hours are fine, but as viewers, we always remember the ending.
Right.
And the last hour was real disappointing. Not the main event. The main event was awesome, but we had the disappointing cutting-edge peep show.
Right.
And then that throwaway with Axel and Truth. And then you also had the main event, and then nobody wanted Roman Reigns to win.
Right. Well, we
the manner he won. Nobody wanted to see it that way.
One of the issues I had was the kickoff show. We have Mauro Ranallo calling the action.
I was excited for that.
Why tease us with that, though?
I know,
we get him for the first match, and then we get stuck with Michael Cole for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I got excited. I was like, oh my God, Cole's off. I can see Mauro. And then the show starts. I'm like, where's Mauro?
Exactly. That first problem right out of the gate was that you tease me with Mauro, and then we get stuck with Michael Cole for the rest of the night. But the kickoff match was one of the better kickoff matches we have ever had. Mm-hmm. Best 2 out of 3 falls match for the U.S. title. Obviously, we've seen Del Rio and Kalisto have matches quite a bit. I have my thoughts on this match, Eric.
I mean, I know your thoughts on the feud. You're not into it, but it was a good match. And I do think, they're throwing a stipulation, not just a championship match on the pre-show, but it's a stipulation to it. 2 out of 3 falls. You got, a couple chair shots in it. I think what they're trying to do is make that pre-show match matter now. I mean, we've seen title matches on there, but it seems like, if anything, they're trying to draw some more reason why people are going to tune in 30, 40 minutes earlier.
Which makes sense. I mean, I thought it was a good idea to have.
I think they did a good job for as lackluster as the show may have been. They did a good job on the pre-show match.
Yeah, I thought the kickoff was good.
Yeah, I thought the kickoff was good, too. I'm always a fan of the giveaway, get disqualified on purpose thing, because I've seen it in a couple of Iron Man matches. I'm Triple H did with The Rock in 2000, just to get yourself disqualified.
2000 all over again.
Yeah.
Your favorite phrase.
My favorite phrase. Yeah. 2000 all over again.
I was gonna say, I feel like deja vu just ran by right there.
Get yourself disqualified to get an upper hand on your opponent, and it did. As much as I'm tired of this feud, I'm glad they saved the best for last. Hopefully, this is the last that you'll see of it. It tells these matches they fought each other so many times. The matches they get real redundant. It's the same thing over and over again, and that's the thing. I didn't really care for these guys because it was kind of like the same match over and over again.
Right. I think that's probably one of the reasons why they had that stipulation, because they figured we could tell a little bit different story. So I thought it was a good match, and I thought both guys put on a good performance. The issue I had was I don't disagree that I don't mind a guy getting disqualified on purpose, because it's like I'll give up one fall to maybe get 2, and then I win. What I didn't like was that your champion gets a fall because the guy gave him one, and then the fall he gets to win the match was a roll-up. At least let him have the one decisive fall to win the match, not, oh, he got a quick roll-up and that was it. He didn't earn either one. But, again, I'm not going to take anything away from the people in the match. I thought they did a good job. We've seen this match a ton in the last 6 weeks. So I think they did about as good of a job as they could have done with this match. And for a kickoff show, I don't think you could ask for a whole lot more.
I mean, for a mid-card title, it's a good way to end the feud. I mean, they're giving it a stipulation. They put on a really good quality match. You know, there's nothing bad you can say about the match.
Yeah, there's not much you can say.
The main thing what you're saying there is the final finish. It doesn't. I can respect that.
It just left me feeling like he's your champion. Let him look good. I get he won the match. He won 2 falls, but one was given to him, and the other one was almost like a fluky. And that's what Del Rio's been saying the whole time. It's a fluke, and it almost still looks.
That's
that
why
way.
I think. Yeah, that's why I think they did that.
So they just wanted to keep that story going, not.
I don't want the story to keep going, but I think that's why they did it.
Okay. Well, I disagree. I think you could have found a better way to end it. I think you could have given it closure.
Yeah.
It's not a fluke. He beat me twice in this match. That's it. I don't think they gave us the proper closure. But to kick off the pay-per-view, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch in a tag match against Naomi and Tamina, the remains of Team Bad. Obviously, this is one of the ones I was looking forward to. I'm sure we all were. What do you think? Becky and Sasha were kind of reluctant tag team partners. What did you think of them performing as a tag team together?
Well, first, Ron, I'm glad it didn't take long for you to turn red and mark out. First match of the night, so you lost it right there. So
they got me red right out of the gate.
Right at the gate.
Match over. Turn it off.
Went to bed.
Best fast lane ever.
All right. So about this match, I thought this was one of the better Divas tag team matches that you'll ever see. I even thought Tamina even held her own, and Sasha and Becky, you could tell they were reluctant because even when the match started, they were kind of like, "I want to start. I want to start. No, I want to start."
The force tag.
Yeah, force tag early in the match, and let's say this match was pretty good for a Divas tag match. I love the spot where I think they were Naomi and Tamina doing double suplex Sasha, and Sasha rolled out of it, and Becky came with the drop kick.
The double missile drop kick, great spot.
Yeah, and then with the finish, I enjoyed it with Sasha Banks with the Hurricane Rana into the bank statement as well.
Yeah, I thought they displayed good teamwork for a team that's not really supposed to be a team. There were times they were working together, working off each other. Eric,
I thought the match was good, and as far as just like you were saying with the finish, I like it because Sasha makes it exciting every time she finishes it. When she goes with a finishing move and says, "No, it's not done now. I'm gonna make her tap."
Right,
and she didn't do it that way. She went with a different, going with the Hurricane. It's not something we've seen on the main roster as her way to lead into her finish. So it was clean finish, cool finish. Good spots in the match. I was pleased with it, especially for a Divas tag.
Yeah, I thought it was a really creative transition into her finish. They've been doing that more with her recently, different ways for her to get to the bank statement, not just the double knees in the back, and then they found new ways for her to hit it. And I think that's good because a lot of times there's just a formula to a match.
Yeah, it gives
this happens, they win.
Yeah, and they're giving it the out of nowhere thing, which I really like.
Yeah, it's good when you're surprised at the finish.
Yeah.
A couple more things on this. I thought this was one of the better women's tag matches I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and it's something fresh too, because during the whole Divas Revolution, you've seen the same redundant tag team matches, and this was a new fresh tag team match. Even Tamina held her own in this match.
Right, and you mentioned Tamina. JBL at one point said she could have been in the APA, which is high praise. I mean, he wouldn't just let anybody into the APA. I would like to have seen a female APA member. Maybe we will see one day. I don't know. What do you think? Did you see Tamina in the APA?
I could definitely see
I
can see her smashing some Bud Lights back there, playing a little bit of blackjack.
Yeah, a couple more.
Do the Ron Simmons and just she has bad hand.
Damn. Yeah, I think she could pull that off. She's got that mean mug at the camera all the time. Mean mug at JoJo. Mean mug at whoever's interviewing her. I think she'd be a good an honorary APA member. A couple more things I wanted to mention. Becky had that. I thought, as much as I love Sasha, and we all know that, Becky, I thought, had an incredible performance in this match. Huge bump she took through the ropes.
Yeah.
Straight out to the floor. The missile drop kick we mentioned. I thought she was great. I kind of like the spot that Naomi and Sasha were doing where Naomi pops her up and she comes down with the two knees.
Oh, yeah, that was new,
They've
too.
done that the last
Yeah.
two matches now. But like you said, I definitely appreciate the creative finish to the match. I thought it was a great women's tag match. We don't see enough of those. Usually they're just Total Divas commercials when it's a women's tag match. This was a good kickoff to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, as negative as it sounds, I feel like more than, all the time. If it's a Divas tag match, it's
basically all the time.
It's a bathroom match. It's what's in the microwave.
It's a 2.5 minute match for them to talk about Total Divas and everybody. Yeah,
I never know how long they
or
are. I
gets a
usually
snack.
fast forward through that.
And it kind of shows what WWE thinks of these women by sending them out first. Because that's the match you want to get the crowd started with.
Yes.
Divas, it's been a long time since they start the show off, at least for a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Because the match is to get the crowd hot and to get Ron hot.
It worked. Good, kudos.
Listen, you put Sasha in commentary, and he's gonna get hot.
That's all it takes for a red face. Am I still red? I don't know.
No, you slowed it down a little
It
bit.
faded quick this round.
So maybe I'm building up a tolerance to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Barely.
Deep plum. I did say that the one time. We had Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler once again, this time for the Intercontinental title.
Great.
Great match.
I mean, you can see it. I'll watch that match again. They could be doing a match for SmackDown right now. Again, it's a redundant match. You keep seeing them going. It's a good performance. He's such a good heel. From
Right.
the stuff he yells during the match, to his finish, to his entrance, to biting the Intercontinental title after he retains it. It's all good.
There's really nothing he does that isn't good. I mean, in the ring, he's great. On the microphone, he's great. Just his
He's good on
random-
commentary.
He's great on commentary. Just his random comments during the match are always funny. He gets himself over as a heel every time he's out there. Yeah, I think he's the best heel that they have. Your thoughts on this Intercontinental match?
What I loved about this match, this is the fourth time we've seen this in 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And to compare it to Kalisto and Del Rio matches felt the same every time. Every match with Owens and Ziggler felt different. And this one you could tell was the biggest match because this was for the Intercontinental title. Like I say, Kevin Owens yelling, even on Dolph Ziggler. I'm more over than you in your hometown.
Yeah, that was one of the favorite. That was one of my notes I wrote down. I love that line.
Yeah, and the finish made me think about you because you say every week on the show, nobody should be tuning the band up.
Yeah.
And Ziggler tunes the band up, Owens throws the referee in his way, and then here comes a pop-up powerbomb out of nowhere and it ends the match. Not being original costs him the match.
Yeah. I love that. I didn't think that. I guess I didn't remember it being bang bang like that.
Yeah.
But yes, Dolph Ziggler, let
It's a
that
good way
be a
to look
lesson
at
to
it.
you. One guy warms up the band. The sweet chin music is one guy's finisher.
Oh,
and it's not you. So come up with something else for yourself. I take my hat off to you that you've gotten yourself in a conversation with Shawn Michaels, but you're not him. So just be Dolph Ziggler.
Owen takes Cole more than us.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, didn't he say the one time, shut up, I can hear you from here? Yeah, KO, great heel. I love the whole KO Mania thing.
Oh yeah.
Anytime a heel can put himself on the level of the entire show.
Yeah, the biggest show of the year.
Right, KO Mania. A great match. Like you said, we've seen this match a lot.
But it's been different every time.
Right. One of the things, I loved the big torso whip into the turnbuckle. Bret Hart was famous for that, going torso first into the turnbuckle. This was one of the most powerful Irish whips I've ever seen into a turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I really liked about the match as far as, and just go to the end of it, the finish. I thought it was cool. I always thought it was cool when he does it in the ring and whips him into the rope for the pop-up powerbomb. But it reminds me of like when he does it outside of the ring and does it. He didn't even throw Ziggler into the rope. It was just
the short arm.
Yeah, it was pretty much.
It was like the Jake the Snake short arm clothesline.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good invert because most of the time on Raw when he finishes with it, you get the rope toss.
Oh yeah, I appreciated that myself. It was a different version of the pop up power bomb. I like any move. I think Sasha may have done a bank statement I don't remember when it was, out of a short arm clothesline. I can't remember when it was. But I even liked Ziggler's comeback. Mm-hmm. The 3 big splashes in the corner.
Yeah.
The 4 standing elbow drops. To me, you're really putting an effort into, I have to put everything into beating this guy. I think that puts him over as a formidable heel. And I think, it was a good comeback. But you're right. It was a great, another way to show a variation on a finish that you see almost every time the guy's out there.
Yeah.
It's always good to keep people surprised. And KO Mania, do we think that obviously he's going to defend the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania? Does he get a one-on-one match? We don't have to say with who, but do we think it's a one-on-one match with KO and somebody else for Eric?
I don't know what to call because I have an idea. I was thinking what would make the most sense is putting him in there against AJ. You know, that we've seen it on the Indies, but if you put them in there one-on-one where you get a 5-star match that a lot of the indie marks would go nuts for on WrestleMania, but we all saw last night there's reason to think why they may not go in that direction. I'm going to stick with what I said last week. I think whatever he's doing, despite the new matches we've seen added to the card last night, I still think, I don't care who his partner is, it could be Stardust. I still think he might put on the best match of the night.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I think it's going to be AJ Styles because Kevin Owens, he sent out a tweet. I don't know if you guys caught that.
I did see that.
Saying, if AJ thinks he'll come close to my Intercontinental title, I'll throw him out faster than I did in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Yeah, I caught that, but the tease from last night still makes me think Styles got some other things he's got to do before.
Well, they got 6 weeks to figure it out.
Yeah, so.
It's true, yeah. We're 6 weeks out. We'll see where that story goes. I just would prefer to see that belt defended in a one-on-one match as opposed to just throw 5 guys in it. And as good as that Fatal 5-Way was last week,
Fatal 5-Way was awesome.
I just want to see your champion defended against one guy. Either he defends it or somebody beats him, not somebody pins somebody else and they take his belt. I want to see a one-on-one match at Mania for Kevin Owens. And I think the Intercontinental title deserves that.
That's a fact.
For the first time since, 2002?
Well,
is that what you said?
The third time since 2002.
Third time since 2002? Oh, yeah, you said it was defended twice since 2002. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'd like to see. Next up, this is one of my big problems with Fastlane. The Wyatts against the Titans, whatever you want to call them. One, why are the Wyatts losing?
I think that was the only match result that I think we all were wrong on the result.
No,
probably. No. Why were they losing? And if they had to lose, why is Luke Harper taking the pin in that match?
The most talented one from the... I don't know. I got nothing to say about that match.
This was...
It didn't make no sense.
This match was a little bizarre because, first of all, Kane sold for Braun Strowman. They made Braun Strowman actually look good. I thought he was a little bit more aggressive than usual. And with Kane, the Big Show, they can make anybody look good.
That's because everything you hear to say in the background about Strowman, everyone in the back, they want him to be basically the next Big Show. Yeah. He's supposed to be the next Big Show.
But even Cole and JBL and Byron, they put Strowman over how aggressive he was being. Like
because he's Vince's favorite from the group. Yeah. Everybody loves him.
And then it's like Kane and Big Show, they know how to do the jobs better than anybody to put somebody over. But my thing is with them losing is I was real surprised because I thought they want to get something bigger for WrestleMania. But then I thought to myself, Bray Wyatt wasn't in this match. Bray Wyatt is the leader, and he didn't really take the loss. The other three took the loss.
Now, not because I don't want to spend really any more time on this match. Because, 1, I didn't think this match should have ever even been made. 2, I think they booked it completely wrong. But do you think maybe, because I think there's some people who feel Bray Wyatt is so protected by the Wyatt family that he does not look like a threat on his own. Do you think them losing without him, do you think that was a conscious decision? Like they couldn't win without Bray, or you just think it was bad booking?
I thought it was bad booking, but the reason they lost is like it's kind of like they kind of make Bray seem like the leader and the strongest person, and as you see on the next night on Raw, he goes over.
Right.
Kane.
I don't know. I still don't see...
I was going to hold that off till we got to the topic. But yeah, obviously, he's not in the match. The next match, this way we can skip right through it when we get to Raw. Yeah. But, he looks strong the next night. And obviously, we were all wrong. We all thought he was going in a certain direction. I don't know. Maybe he makes the
pin. Not anymore.
Maybe they
There's a change of direction.
Yeah, maybe they realized there was a change of direction early, so maybe that's why they
So
lost.
let's
and
not
they're
feed
like,
him to Brock.
or no, not just that. Maybe they're like, all right, we're gonna have the Wyatts lose without Bray in the match, and then the next night Bray picks up the win to look strong because I mean they don't have that even they don't even have that direction for him to go in.
Well,
So you think there's a chance that they planned that?
There's a chance.
There's very remote chance.
Well, I'm kind of glad that they went away from that Brock Bray Wyatt thing because now I think they could put Bray Wyatt in a position to actually have a win at WrestleMania
Right.
and not become a jobber to the stars.
All right, so maybe something good did come out of that. I don't know. I didn't like the match being on the card in the first place. I didn't like the way it turned out. I don't like the way Luke Harper's treated. But okay, you guys made me not hate it quite as much as I did before we discussed it. Divas title match. Charlotte with Ric Flair in her corner against Brie Bella. Brie comes out wearing Daniel Bryan's boots.
Who booked that?
Nikki's ring gear.
Who booked that?
I believe.
You said the entrance theme too. All right, I sure know it all. All right, I'm gonna say the same thing I said about the 6-man tag. I don't have much to say about this match because the finish was terrible. Because she tapped out so weak and was like this
And
far
immediately.
away. She was so no. It's not about how quick she tapped out. She could reach the ropes. If you play that match back, I'm watching that segment. I'm like, all right, cool. This match is gonna keep going, and the ropes were right there, and she tapped out. I thought that match was terrible just because of the finish. I got nothing else to say about that match.
Aaron, you got
Okay,
any thoughts on this match?
Yes,
I have a couple, but
Okay, well, I'm gonna refer to Brie as Brie Nicole Bryan. In this so Brie Nicole Bryan did exactly what I was gonna say. This match, it was one of her better matches. It was botches, but we already know Brie's not one of the top workers
Right.
in the women's division. But she came out too much to Bryan and Nikki, and it kind of threw me off. It's like you say about Ziggler, you have to be yourself.
Right.
You have to have your own thing. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when she was doing the yes kicks, I don't know if you noticed, the guy in the second row was like, no,
Yes,
no,
I did.
no, no.
and that's what I do at home every time she does
Yeah,
it.
he was like, no. But like I said, this match, like Brie, she played the leg. She hurt her leg on the missile drop kick.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys noticed, but when she had her in the half crab, she was leveraging. She was on the knee that
Yes.
was hurt, and she messed up she switched
Yeah.
legs.
I didn't notice. I did not notice that. So
Yeah.
she wasn't even on the right injured leg.
Yes. So, and then like Eric said, she could have reached for the ropes
Right.
because
I
she was
agree with
right
that.
there.
She was it was terrible.
And I love
that half crab, but you made that good point. I wish I noticed that, but I was enjoying seeing the half crab in form there, and it was just the half crab comes out, and then she's in the figure eight, and it's let me be in this move for 2 seconds. Oh, the ropes are right here. I'm not gonna grab it.
And I love Rick's new gimmick of marking out. Charlotte did the Bella Booty dance,
Yes.
and Rick marked out.
Yes.
Woo! Woo! He just marked out. I love him, Rick. Woo!
Yes. I love that too.
He's doing good not talking.
I
As
know.
bad as
Well, that's
he's
what- so-
doing good as just a silent figure.
Yeah, a couple of the things I didn't think Brie Bella deserved a title shot. They just did it because Daniel Bryan's name is very topical right now. He just retired, so it's a way to kind of get, not heat, but it's a way to get some good attention on her. I don't think it was necessary, but I think it showed more progress for Charlotte in being a heel on her own, getting over on her own, her dad being even more in the background than ever, her being more in the forefront. I thought, actually, so I went out on the limb. I think we both said we thought Brie may win. Or was it just me? I don't remember.
I know you did. I don't remember.
I
All right,
said
so
I
I
think
went
I
out
said
on a limb.
it was a maybe. No, I
So
said
I went out
maybe.
on a limb and said Brie was going to win. They were going to give it to her just because of Daniel Bryan. I thought they did a good job of... There were a couple convincing near falls. Like I thought she might have got her with the half crab. I thought, okay, they're going to give it to her. Didn't happen, but I actually thought
that's
it
what
could have
annoyed
happened.
me. That's what annoyed me. I thought she could have had her there with the half crab, and then 2 seconds later she's tapping out.
Right.
And they made it convincing because Brie was right in front of Rick, and Rick was just shouting stuff in front of her, and she
Right.
wasn't paying him any mind. And that would have been good that Rick couldn't get her to break the hold.
Yeah, but so while it was a match that I don't feel really needed to take place, we obviously know Charlotte's money match is going to be at WrestleMania against two of the other horsewomen. So I thought this was decent for what it was. I thought they convinced you that there was a chance Brie could win, and I feel like Charlotte is continuing to establish herself as
a
heel.
great heel.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, she in between that match, the promos going into that match, and what we saw 24 hours later, whether appearance or words out of her mouth, she is becoming a great heel.
Agreed. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, but Ron, when I saw this promo, I just laughed because I heard when Bree talked, I all heard about. All
You just
promos.
heard me doing my impression.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we agreed. Last week I asked. I don't think I got a straight answer. Which was worse, my Brie Bella impression or my Adam Rose impression?
I think they're both good.
All right, good. Well, I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Arguably, what maybe we were looking forward to the most, AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. This feud obviously has had some legs. We were all hoping it would go a certain way. It obviously did. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. What did you think? They've been put this their third match in 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I thought the SmackDown match was better. I just thought this was this wasn't a great match. This was just a match. And
You didn't think it was a great match?
no, I think their SmackDown match was better.
I would say if you go in a singles one-on-one match, we're only obviously 2 months into the year. I think I'm bold enough to say the top 3 best one-on-one matches this year. As much as Kevin Owens has been putting in great matches, the top 3 best one-on-one matches is AJ Styles versus Jericho, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not going to give it a specific order, but those 3 matches are the best.
Well,
So you
one-on-one
think they've
matches.
put on the 3 best singles matches of the year already?
No doubt about it.
Well, I think the SmackDown match was the the better one. This was better than the Raw match, in my opinion. The story was told great because since they faced each other 2 times already, Jericho was telegraphing a lot of AJ's offense. AJ went for the springboard forearm. Jericho did his springboard dropkick right when AJ was going for the forearm. Even Jericho kicking out of Styles Clash, and it was a great way to end this match by having Jericho tap out to the calf crusher.
Right.
I mean, at the same time, since I'm a Jericho fan, I just wish he didn't tap. I wish he would.
You
I wish
rather
the
see a pin?
I wish the match was over by a pinfall, but
Well, he kicked out of the Styles Clash. Am I wrong?
He did.
Okay.
Which it makes him look a little stronger. You take the guy's finishing
Yeah.
move and you kick out of it, and then you tap to the submission, which I think they're really trying to get that submission over. I feel like they've taken a turn towards submissions being a bigger part of.
And teaming for a while they didn't, and I was happy. And again, I'm diving into Raw, but I was happy to see Jericho take a win with the Walls of Jericho because his last hiatuses or his last couple runs, I mean, his several runs the past couple years, you don't see him win with the Walls of Jericho as much as he should.
Right. Agreed. I do think though, with whether it's the women, almost every one of the top women they have, their finisher is a submission. Even down in NXT, you have, like we said, a submission win in this. Jericho gets a submission win the night after. I do think so. I like that it's their third match. It was a very technical opening to the match, kind of a slow, feeling each other out. It's like I kind of know what you're going to do. You kind of know what I'm going to do. We're going to try to do something a little different. I feel like they missed a couple spots.
Yeah, they missed a couple spots, but at the same time, you have to remember, Jericho's 45 years old.
Right.
And AJ's, 38? So Jericho still can't do things he could do 7 years ago.
Right. And
He'll
think
argue that.
this is the
from
best
DDP
he's
Yoga.
looked. Yeah, this is the best. This is the best he's looked in a while.
We can't plug that.
I did like Y2J hitting the drop kick counter when AJ did the plunge over the top rope and he hit the drop kick. I liked that Y2J was almost vicious when they were outside the ring. He had the lion tamer on him, threw him up against the wall. I liked him hitting the code breaker when AJ was between the ropes. I don't know if I've ever even seen that spot before. I love that he kicked out of the Styles Clash, as much as I think a lot of the AJ marks will get mad about that.
Because they want to see that move, and it's not seen
Right.
as much as...
Right, you got to see it, but I liked that because you want Jericho to still... They've been pumping him up as the 6-time world champion, 9-time Intercontinental champion. You have to still make him look like he's a strong opponent. And I felt like they did that. And I liked that they were able to put AJ over without turning Jericho heel.
Yeah.
Everybody
I agree.
thought that was coming. And I think he's a hard guy to make a heel now because he's one of those guys at this point that it's like, we just love you.
We don't want to boo you. As
Right.
much as he wants to, he wants to play that heel role. And I was happy about that. Going right into the finish of the match, I while I was watching the match, I was like, oh man, here's gonna come the typical. It's gonna be a code breaker. He's gonna smack him. Then I was like, he ain't gonna. If he's not gonna do the code breaker, he's just gonna smack him and walk out of the ring. And they didn't, and I was happy about it because you don't see that often. And if you do see it, it's usually like the main event.
Yeah. So it was a good match. Like you said, you thought they put on the 3 best singles matches of the year. You thought it fell right in between their other 2 matches, which I think is good enough. If you're right on par with everything else you did in your feud on a pay-per-view, I think you've kind of done your job. You can't always make your matches better every single time, especially when we've seen them that close together.
Yeah.
Maybe, unfortunately, one of the more disappointing parts of the night was, like you mentioned earlier, the Cutting Edge Peep Show.
So disappointing. I was
Yeah,
heartbroken.
they could have done a lot more with it, but
Vince Russo.
their show was good.
Their show was good. I will say that. It was a good
I didn't
show.
watch it.
I didn't watch all of it. I saw some of it after it was over.
Well, I saw it with the remote when they paused Vince.
No,
That was funny.
that was funny.
Then you get to watch the next one.
I thought that it was funny to start. One thing I don't know if either of you may be a little too young. I don't know how familiar you are with Back to the Future Part 2. Either one of you?
A little bit.
We're so young. I'm about to play Back to the Future. What's that?
Part 2, I don't know. I don't know if you... Either way, I felt like Christian was wearing Marty McFly's leather jacket from when he went back to 1955. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. It was like the red canvas with the leather. I don't know. I found that interesting.
You should have wore one tonight.
If I could have found one on short notice, I would have. I don't know where you even find that jacket anymore. If I had a time machine, I would have gone back to 1955 and bought it. But
Well done, well played.
I thought Edge and Christian were funny when they came out. I thought the New Day were funny when they came out. The League of Nations, I don't know what their place was in this.
Of all teams, the League of Nations, this was the perfect spot for Enzo and Cass.
Yeah. There was a part of me that thought that.
Yeah,
that's
because-
I think everyone thought
To
it.
debut them with Edge and
it was-
Christian and New Day, would have been amazing.
Yeah. Was it you that texted me that
Yeah.
we were about to get Enzo and
Yeah.
Cass as the transitional tag champs?
Yeah. I said, hey, I sent a group text, and I was like, all right, guys, we're all going to be let down because Enzo and Cass, they never get the NXT tag titles, but they're going to be our transitional champions to pass the titles off to the Dudleys.
Like,
but
I wish they could have came in that spot or in the Social Outcast spot.
Right.
They missed a big opportunity if they're going to debut them anytime soon. But the League of Nations, I'm officially over them. I can't take it anymore. They're not. I can't take them seriously. They look so awkward together. They don't look like a unit. I feel so sorry for Wade Barrett. I hope.
The only guy who can talk is Wade Barrett, and he's the only one that doesn't get to talk.
Yeah, in June when he leaves, I hope he goes to TNA, Ring of Honor, and just become the world champion somewhere. He deserves so much better than what he's doing. He doesn't get to talk. He's looks like the weak link in the group. But New Day and the League of Nations. Like,
There's
really?
no need.
There's no need for that.
I mean,
I noticed it the next night. Does his tights say League of Nations?
Who?
I think Wade Barrett has like a League of Nations
Probably,
logo.
because they're like,
or
you're not
his
even
gear.
your own guy anymore. You're just the generic League of Nations guy.
That's so great because everyone else, I was noticing this when they were beating down Roman, everyone else has their normal, Sheamus has his Sheamus gear, Del Rio has his Del Rio gear, Rusev's in his Rusev trunks, and then I believe Wade Barrett's running around in League of Nation gear.
Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to ask you guys. So, I take notes when I watch the show.
Yeah.
And I try to write shorthand as much as I can. And usually I remember exactly what I mean when I write stuff. I wrote down IHOD at one point. IHOD. It was an acronym for something Xavier Woods said about the League of Nations. Did he call them the International House of Dull? It's the only thing I could think of that IHOD could have possibly meant.
I don't remember.
I was drinking a lot during this.
Okay, so nobody can help me. I may have to go back and watch it. Maybe next week I'll tell you what IHOD meant.
Like my man,
Or maybe one of you can comment
my
on our
man
Facebook
Steve
page.
Austin would say, SOB, Super Bowl.
Yeah, I thought the League of Nations were very out of place. I
As always.
did kind of like that New Day and Edge and Christian were kind of on the same page by the end of it, but other than that, I expected a lot.
It was
more.
it was a couple of jokes, but
I mean, the
was
League of Nations
disappointing.
ruined the segment. You
Yeah.
made a good point. You said you're over them. I'm over them too.
Yeah, Curtis Axel with the Social
Next.
Outcasts and Ron Killings.
no. Next,
Yeah,
I'm glad we're skipping over stuff. Finally, that's my speed.
Pashy
why-
baby. Next.
Let's
Why-
get to the main event, baby.
The only thing I had to say about that was Vince Russo had a theory that somebody had to have gotten hurt in an earlier match, which opened time. He said that was the only reason they could have threw that in there.
And, the thing
And
is-
Gold and Golden Truth still isn't together yet. When are they ever going to be a tag team?
Oh my god.
Is that all we have to say about that?
Yeah. Next.
All right, the main event of Fastlane. It's been hyped for a little while. The brother versus Beast triple threat match. Ambrose, Reigns, and Lesnar. On the line, the number one contendership for a title shot against Triple H at WrestleMania. I didn't love how it finished, but I thought it was a good match. I don't know. Eric?
It was a good match. I don't hate the finish. If Roman was gonna win, it made sense the way it ended. The thing that was cool, I think, and again, I'm gonna keep jumping to Raw with everything I speak of on Fastlane. But the thing that I liked is they didn't say nothing about hating each other the night after. So I thought while watching it, I'm like, all right, cool, or not cool. I was like, oh man, this friendship's over. They're done. They're not a duo. But I thought that, the match was, for what it was going to be, it was good. Triple threat matches, you never know what you're going to get. I thought it was good quality. They had some great spots. They did great at keeping Brock down. And, we got the table spots. I thought the match was decent, especially for a B pay-per-view.
Before you get into your thoughts on the match, my favorite singular moment of the match was when Brock goes through the second table and they buried him in the debris from the two tables.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Heyman is running around the ring and he sees him, he goes, oh my God! You couldn't really hear him, but you kind of saw him, you kind of heard it. And I don't know why, just the idea that he was just like, couldn't believe what they had done to his client. I loved. That was my favorite point of the whole match. But
He was the best worker in the match.
Yeah, what did you think of this match?
I thought this was a good match. It was one of the more better triple threat matches you'll see. Like Eric said, it told a story. They had to keep Brock down. They wanted it to be just Dean and Roman. Of course, Roman goes over the Superman way, kicks out of Dirty Deeds. One of my favorite spots was Brock had him in the Kimura lock.
Yes.
And Reigns just picks him up. And Ambrose comes and just beats him with the steel chair and beats him. But Roman did not sell any of those chair shots because right after that he hits him with a spear.
Right. Immediately after. Doesn't sell it. It's like if he hit the spear, let it look awkward. So the commentary could say, oh, he didn't get all that spear in, and then go for it again. That would change the whole match. And then Roman, he got a rain of boos right after that. If he pinned Brock, I don't think he would have got a rain of boos. Nobody wants to see Ambrose take the pin in that situation. Well, yeah, that was the guy everybody wanted to see win.
But we all know Brock's not going to get pinned.
Yeah, we all know Brock's not going to get pinned. But my question
I'd like to see him get pinned in 40-something days.
But with this match, listen, this was an amazing match. But 2 months into the year, I don't feel we've had any match of the year contender to go on the match of the year board.
Yeah, to me, this was comparable to the triple threat match at the Rumble last year. It just fell just short. Which I guess that's what you're going to get. I mean, Ambrose obviously just as good as anybody that was in
Rumble
that
triple
match.
threat was better.
No doubt.
What? There's one ingredient that I think kept it from being a step.
John
below.
Cena. That was the ingredient, right? We can all agree.
Well, no. To
Seth
me,
frickin'
Seth wasn't in it.
Seth
That's why
frickin' Rollins.
Seth Rollins, to me, made that triple threat match
did.
at the Rumble last year. He was not in this triple threat match. I think that was why that match was never going to live up to the Rumble triple threat.
Yeah, because as much as we all love Dean Ambrose, he's not the worker of a Seth Rollins. He's not going to hit those high spots that Seth Rollins did.
Right.
Like the high spot Seth Rollins did, as amazing that match
I don't know.
was.
They're pretty equal.
As amazing as that match at the Rumble was, Seth Rollins made that match what it was.
Right. A couple things I liked. I enjoyed when Roman went for the Samoan drop and Brock German.
Oh yes, that was amazing. Yes.
I liked that Brock. They did everything they could to keep Brock out of the match, but he still, when he was on his 2 feet, was still dominating both of them. If that's the guy he's supposed to be, I guess you let him keep being that. What I didn't like, and I would have been fine with Roman winning because we kind of all knew. I predicted Ambrose. I was wrong, but we kind of all knew Roman was going to win. If he had to, why did it have to be that way? Like you said, it's just it just made it look. Oh yeah. He's going to win, and he just won in the inevitable looking way. You could have made it be something a little different than the way you did.
Yeah, like I said, even if Ambrose took 2 spears, it still makes Ambrose look strong because he knows he did not get because Reigns didn't sell that chair shot. You could tell the story. Reigns didn't hit it all.
I respect the way you guys are both thinking about it, but at the same time, if they're gonna do,
What are you disrespecting?
okay, so at the same time, you see how well Roman cared about Ambrose the next night. The thing is, I like the fact that they're still gonna get along, or at least that's the way we're thinking about it right now. If he continually kept hitting him with spears, that would just make you think, why would they not get along? I mean, I'm not mad at the way it went down. And, that's my final thoughts. I just
didn't love it.
I can respect the thought, or disrespect the thought, whatever.
I was just being funny. That was not.
Anyway. It was funny.
Okay, good.
We got heat in the background for it.
Another thing I did like about this match, I liked that it was Ambrose who did not hesitate to go after Roman when he had the chance.
Yeah.
And I still think that plays into a little bit that Roman still sees himself as he's above Ambrose. He does not see him as being on his level. And I think maybe that'll pay off eventually down the line, maybe.
Yeah.
But, so that's Fastlane. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but there was stuff about it I definitely didn't like. And I guess we just went over that. So Raw, the next night. Obviously, the big story to come out of Raw is the return
of the money.
Yes. Shane O'Mac, here comes the money. Out of nowhere, very rare to get a legitimate surprise on Raw where you do not see it coming.
I'm sorry, hold on. When you're in a group text with someone, it ruins every surprise. So I was a couple minutes behind, but thanks. Yeah, I wish I was watching.
I expect you, Mark, to be watching.
I'm leaving my phone off now, so I'm always like 15, 20 minutes behind on Raw, and I got Aaron Lloyd over here ruining the best surprise in the last 6, 7, 8, I don't know how many years, but yeah.
Well, the
money's back.
Yes.
Your favorite European champion of all time is back. One of the best hardcore street fight wrestlers that wasn't a wrestler of all time. He's back.
We saw Vince come back at Raw 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Huge pop, but Stephanie announced at the beginning of the show that he would be there later tonight. This was out of nowhere. I marked out watching at home.
First time in 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going to be honest, Shane is a guy who, when the whole posse started and everything, I did not like Shane one bit. I couldn't stand him. The whole acting tough, whatever, like, no, you're just Vince McMahon's son. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't even be on TV. That guy, to me, he was
a great heel.
He was an integral part of the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He took chances nobody in his position should ever have to take.
And he's the boss's kid.
Exactly. That's why I respect that. I actually got a little choked up when he came out.
I was excited, even though I already kind of knew about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you did, unfortunately. Yeah, the surprise was ruined for you, but not for everybody, luckily.
And another surprise 5 minutes into the promo got ruined for me, too.
Well, the point of him coming out, he came out to bust up the whole Vincent J. McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award, being presented to Stephanie. He says, you don't deserve this, but this is about legacy. This is my legacy. I didn't lose my place. I want what's mine. Vince tells him, okay, one match, one night. You'll get to control Raw if that's what you want.
All you got to do is retire The Undertaker.
Well, there was that. We actually got a question from a gentleman named G-Man from Delaware County, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia.
The Philadelphia area. G-Man,
yes,
Philadelphia area.
The Philadelphia area.
Pennsylvania.
He wants to know, why does Shane-O need to have a fight to earn what's his if he already had a deal with Vince? I thought about this myself. I don't know if you guys have an answer. My answer is that he has a deal in place with Vince to still be a part of the operations of the company. But what Shane asked for was control of Monday Night Raw, which was not the deal. So Shane now has to earn the right to control Monday Night Raw. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you have a different thought?
I agree with that.
Okay.
And G-Man, to answer your question, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go backtrack 7 days ago to our last video. Mm-hmm. And obviously Shane O'Mac is not who I thought would be doing it. But the incomparable Ron Lloyd asked a great question on who we would like to retire. I went last. My answer was the Phenom, The Undertaker. WrestleMania, make it your last match. All right, well, he lost his streak a couple years ago to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar should have finished him off then. That should have been it. Should have been done. So, I'm not saying Taker's ego is big, but I think, we still got more than 4 weeks leading into Mania. I think it's going to get to the point, maybe this is me hoping, obviously, because my prediction. I think the reason is because they need someone to retire Undertaker, and there's no one on the roster they want to give that honor to right away. And I think, I don't know if, I'm not saying it's Taker's ego, but I think Vince's ego, if he's going to give it to anyone, it's going to be his damn son.
That's a great point.
I never thought of it that way. I kind of like that, though.
That's it.
Okay. This is what I've been holding in.
Okay.
After I was done marking out,
Skipping
thought about-
around your plate.
yeah, doing the Shane dance. Which way did Shane go? Which way did Shane go? Okay. So,
You guys are lucky I had a hectic day. I was going to come in here dressed like him, too.
this match won't be a Matt classic. It won't. But in this era, what can Shane possibly do in a Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker?
Jump off the top.
In the PG era, in this era, what can he possibly
That's
do?
my concern.
Jump off the top.
That's my concern.
Elbow through the table.
They haven't done that in years.
Yeah, well, they found the one person that's going to do it.
But I'm not done to my thing. And then
Ain't that a
I have other points. Later in the night, Stephanie asks Shane. I mean, she asks Vince, "Why would you do that?" Vince says,
Calculated risk.
"Calculated risk. How's he gonna beat the Undertaker?" After he said that, I had a theory that since Vince chose the Undertaker, Shane might say, "I'll choose a replacement to face me."
That's
So
not
you
the
don't
stipulation. That's not the stipulation. Stipulation is you have to have one match.
Yeah, but like I said, it's hard for me to think that Shane's gonna face the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match because it's like Shane McMahon beating the Undertaker, really? In Hell in a Cell, Shane beating the Undertaker.
Well, when I think, you know how sometimes you can intuit.
Who's going to be his
or-
replacement? Not to cut you off.
That's fine,
No.
go ahead.
Who's gonna be his-
Dun, 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 dun.
Who?
Well, you're getting to something I was about to say.
John Cena!
I wasted $2 in that thing last week predicting he'd be back for WrestleMania to face The Undertaker, and then I hear that.
Said it.
That's my other theory. But and another point I have is, why would the Undertaker help Vince? They have 6 weeks to explain this. I have no confidence that this will make any sense. But why is he choosing the Undertaker, and what is it in for the Undertaker to help Vince?
Well, I'm glad you said this, because as much as I loved Shane coming back, and as much as I loved that segment, you almost got away with it. I forgot.
That one hurt.
But
Oh,
I do have a hard time seeing it actually happen. And I don't necessarily love it, because I don't know what they can really do.
Yeah, because like I said, after you're done marking out, you sit down and think, what possibly can they do in this era in a Hell in a Cell match with Shane and The Undertaker? The Undertaker's not a young guy anymore. Neither is Shane. Shane's what, 45 years old?
Yes.
I don't know, but he dances good. He got to be able to do a couple of things.
He's still pretty light on his feet.
Yeah. I wish they showed his creases and his ones.
Stop.
I wish. Like I said,
Our next show when we're together, we're both coming to Chicago.
they have 6 weeks to make this make sense for me. I have no confidence they will, though.
Yeah, that's deep.
Well, that story kind of ended there.
Shane and Kevin Owens are going to steal the show at WrestleMania.
They could.
And then the next show, Shane challenges him for the IC title in a dream match. Not going to have, but...
Well, later in the night, we have Roman with JoJo. Another bad backstage interview where you can tell he's reading off cards. It's a lot of fake pretend.
I like that it was
emotion.
short. I
did like that,
It was
but
short.
but for
It
the
was
time
good.
it was going on, it was not a good interview.
Why is Roman the whole night acting like a worried girlfriend? He's on his phone the whole night. He did nothing. He's walking around backstage looking at his phone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for Dean. He's fine. You just saw him outside. He drove an ambulance back to the arena. He's fine. Go find him. He's in the arena.
He is. Well, he wasn't there yet when he did that.
He did it twice.
Oh yeah, he did do it a second.
He's in
time.
the arena. Go find him.
Did he do it after the Brock segment?
After the Ambrose segment?
After Ambrose came back?
Yeah, he did it again. Yeah.
Maybe he's ignoring his text. He's mad about the spear.
This isn't high school. This is the WWE.
Well, Roman ends up booked in a
similar.
match with Sheamus, which How many times have we seen that? That would have seemed like a decent match in
terrible.
December or early January.
I find it
At
real.
this point, it was to me, it was another waste of time at the end of the
I
show.
find it real funny. Triple H to Stephanie. You want to tell him or should I? I'll tell him. You're gonna face Sheamus. How many times he beat Sheamus already? Why
Yeah,
should
but
he
he's
be
going to be
afraid?
so worried about that. And they tried to build up that it's the three other people, but really, the League of Nations to me is not threatening.
They have no unity. You could tell they're all confused. They hug wrong. They try to hug each other, and
But
You should have said unity the way that Team Bad used to do it.
Unity.
they have none of that.
No, sorry.
Of course he can impersonate that really well. What the fuck?
Roman Reigns ends up actually what that story ended up being was about Triple H coming out and annihilating Roman to end the show. What I thought was fake blood at the time turned out to be true.
Still okay to say.
Yeah, I mean, were you happy with the way it ended up last night?
Yes, but after seeing this, I was said to myself before. Well, I don't know if you guys have seen, but WWE has broken news that Roman has surgery for his nose. It's a work,
Yes.
basically. But after that, I was like, all right. Vince doesn't need anything to do with this storyline. Triple H will know how to get this guy over. So I don't need to see Roman Reigns on TV for at least 2 weeks. Have him sell this injury and have Triple H cut promos about Roman Reigns. Triple H needs to take control of this storyline because if anybody can get Roman Reigns over, he can. He had the fight last week. He said he had the fight to get the beat down at TLC.
Right.
He will fight to get this guy over. I feel it was perfect. The Superman punch into the DX crotch, amazing.
I'm so happy you said that. I'm gonna dive right in right here. Triple H, this is where I'm confused at, and this is gonna be me giving him credit to his ability. My issue with what he's doing right now, while he's in a suit, he does a good job of being a bad guy. You figure when he was screwing Daniel Bryan left and right, when he was going back and forth with Randy and all this stuff, he did a good job of being a bad guy. When he's out of the suit and he comes out there, if he's in the Rumble and he's doing it after he eliminates Roman Reigns and he hits a DX crotch chop, or after he's beating him up and he's a bloody mess and he, in great fashion, mocked his Superman punch and then hit the DX crotch chop. He's doing a great job being a heel, beating this guy down, and you feel bad for him. But someone our age or your age, I'm telling you that
he plays that crowd.
the second you do the DX crotch chop, I'm like, he's not a heel. That's my guy. I got to root for him. So he's supposed to get him over.
But he's playing for the crowd.
Yeah,
I'm the second he's. I'm like, oh man, I hope he retains that Mania. I hope he
Triple
retains
Triple
that
H
title.
knows what he's doing. The line of the night from Michael Cole. The Roman Empire is on fire. They're booing the hell out this guy.
He's getting booed while Triple H is getting cheered.
He got Eva Marie heat last night,
He did.
and they're just chanting Triple H the whole time.
But you think so? I was concerned that it's like they hate Roman, they love Hunter. How is this going to work? Because he's getting cheered as he's destroying him. He's playing to the crowd, doing the crotch chop, like you said. But you're confident that Triple H will figure out a way.
Triple H he'll have his hands full on this situation.
Can I get a prediction out of you?
I still think, bro.
No, I want to ask you a specific question.
Okay.
After WrestleMania, will Roman Reigns be over?
You know how I feel about it.
I do.
I don't think he'll win at WrestleMania.
No?
I don't.
You don't think Roman wins?
No.
That'd be cool.
I don't think he wins at WrestleMania.
That'd be a good twist.
It'd be the swerve. Bro, you
The
will
swerve
not
of all
see
swerves.
it coming, bro.
Triple H will he knock it out of the park?
Bro, Triple H, he will knock it out the park, bro. Bro, the night after WrestleMania, check the ratings, bro. I think it'll be money if Roman doesn't win.
I agree.
Mania.
I think
I
that's
think
a
he'll-
good point.
I still think Dean Ambrose screws him at Mania.
We'll transition a minute now to Roman Reigns' brother-in-arms. Dean Ambrose gets attacked by Brock as he's pulling into the arena. He drives the ambulance back. just crawls his way to the ring, challenges Brock to a no-holds-barred street fight at WrestleMania. Brock steps on his head at one point. Paul Heyman accepts the challenge. Is there any way to view Dean Ambrose as someone who can actually beat Brock Lesnar, or is that kind of not even the point?
I think because of the stipulation,
He'll find a way to...
he'll find the way. There's going to be a crazy loophole. There's going to be something, but a weapon's going to be... This is going to show him how hardcore he can be. I hope, and I'm doing this as an Ambrose fan, I hope Ambrose wins. I think he can. I'm a fan of Brock Lesnar. I have a 6-year-old at home who that's his favorite guy on the show.
I did not know that.
His favorite guy he doesn't get to see every week.
Yeah.
And he's a heel. I mean, how bad am I? I'm raising someone that their favorite guy is a heel. But yeah, I hope Ambrose wins. I would like to see it. I think it's possible. I think it's been long enough where Lesnar can get it. I don't want to say a clean loss because it's it's going to be a street fight. But I will tell you, between the Taker and Shane, and then they're announcing that, and we already know from Fastlane result, Roman versus Triple H, we know 3 matches. I can't think of the last time you're excited about Mania because we know 3 matches, and I'm looking for all 3 of those matches.
Well, I think this was meant to kind of look like Dean Ambrose could be a threat because this guy's a lunatic. This guy drove an ambulance into
And
the
the
ring.
fact that he was in the hospital and he managed to drag his body out there, and he's still not afraid of him.
Yeah, and he
I can't even stand up, but I'm still not afraid
Yeah,
of him.
and he challenges him to a no holds barred match. And even at Fastlane, he was beating Brock with that steel chair. And the constant with Dean Ambrose is he won't stay down. He just keeps coming back for more. That'll be the story to be told for WrestleMania with Brock.
Is there any chance that Seth Rollins helps Dean Ambrose beat Brock Lesnar?
None.
No, I don't see that.
No?
He's
I
not
mean, I
going
don't
to be
think
back
so
by the
either.
time. Listen, we're only 1/3 the way until he gets back.
They're saying he's ahead of schedule. I thought, not that he'd be, putting on half of a match, but I thought there may be... I don't know. That's just wishful thinking on my
No,
part. I
I
miss the guy. I'm ready to see him
I don't
back.
think so. No.
All right. Y2AJ became a thing last night.
I like it. I hope it's real. I hope it's real.
Do we think this lasts a little bit, or do you think it was a one night only?
I think it might have been a one and only thing.
No, I'm going to go with what I said last week, and I'm sad to see it. I'm sad to say it, but I think Y2AJ are going to compete a couple times in a tag match. They had the one fluke match a couple weeks ago, impromptu on SmackDown. They had the match last night on Raw. I think they're going to keep tagging. I think they're going to win the tag titles. I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go right to it. I think they're going to win the tag titles. I think before Jericho leaves, I think they're going to drop the titles to the Dudleys. And that's going to be how Jericho's going to bow out. That's going to be my bold forward prediction. That's why we're not going to see AJ in a one-on-one match at Mania.
Tag division, I don't think there's a whole lot really to even really discuss. We got another Dudleys. Let's remind you who we are. We're not going to be defined by our accomplishments, not tables.
Usos destroyed the Ascension. And
The New Day win a six. They did
Six-man
win that.
tag.
They win a 6-man
Yeah.
tag. Kofi actually, for once, hit the Trouble in Paradise. I don't know the last time
been
I saw
forever.
him hit that. I liked the spot of Big E and Xavier hitting the splash and the leg drop at one time.
There was actually a lot of good spots in there. I mean, Big E, we see it all the time, but, he took one of those, falls through the ropes where it was just his body, no one else eating it. And he ate it good. We can't... Neville outside of the ring,
Yeah, shooting
followed
star press.
by Kalisto, and then there was great spots in that match.
It's one of the better 6-man tags you'll see.
Especially from the lower mid card.
Divas action last night. We get Sasha against Naomi. A couple of repeated spots from the night before, but a good match nonetheless. Becky comes out to her aid once again. Charlotte comes out to kind of make fun of their friendship they have now. Says you guys are going to be competing.
Rockin' Nikki Bella inspired
Yeah.
gear, which
Yeah.
shows you that she's getting better as a heel.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if you noticed, Ron, but Sasha asked you, did you like her new shirt? She came out to the
I do. I like it.
ring. Okay.
Did you order one yet?
I have not. I promise I haven't.
Do you believe him?
Yeah, it just came out.
It just came out. I told him I was thinking about it when I saw him on Thursday. So I would have
Next
told him
promo
by
code
now.
is available.
They're going to face each other for the number one contendership, I guess, at some point. Do we think it's going to be a triple threat match at Mania, or do we think it's going to be one person?
It's going to be one on Charlotte.
Sasha.
But I'm going to go with Charlotte and
Sasha?
Banks. Yeah.
I'm going triple threat. I think she'll interfere that's not the smart thing to do, and she'll play. I'm going to defend it. Oh, you got a triple threat match.
My hope is still Sasha and Charlotte get a one-on-one match at Mania. We saw it. That was the match we saw when we were at the Fatal 4-Way was the night you weren't there. At the NXT show in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I guess it was 1-on-1 when we were there.
That's what I'm hoping for. They've had great matches before. I think that's the money match at WrestleMania. This is the time in the show when we get to a few listener questions. Aaron will read them once again.
All
what
right.
do we got?
We have a new person sending in a question.
Yeah?
Yes. This guy's name is Justice Cross on Facebook.
Justice.
Thank you, Justice. We appreciate it.
All right. He says, he asks, which superstar do you think deserves the biggest push for a WWE Championship? Who do you think needs to turn heel, and who do you think needs to turn babyface?
Oh, that's a great question.
So who deserves a push for me, especially where this group is right now? I think Bray Wyatt needs a push. I'm ready for Bray Wyatt to matter.
That's right there.
I'm fine with him being a heel. Who needs to make a heel turn? The person I think I'd most like to see a heel turn at this point is Roman Reigns, because I think it'd at least be interesting. There's nothing about him that's interesting right now. And who needs to be a babyface that is not? That's really tough, because they have enough babyfaces, they just don't have enough heels.
Yeah, but everybody who's a heel is amazing.
That's true. Maybe I don't know. I don't think the New Day deserve to be baby. Not that they don't deserve it, but I think they're more fun as heels. I'll get back to that. Who I think needs to turn babyface. You got somebody?
Turn babyface. Well, all right. I guess I'm gonna start from the bottom. With the who deserves a push towards the direction of a title. I guess I'm gonna give it a 2-part answer. I'm gonna go NXT. I'm gonna do one that we're all gonna agree on. I just want Enzo and Cass to win the NXT tag title.
No, this is the world title.
Is it strictly on the world title?
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Still, it just bothers me. I just want them to win the NXT tag titles. I want them to win the NXT tag titles before they go. All right, so I'm going to go straight for the world title. Wow, all right, I was going to answer that wrong then. World title. I guess I want Dean. You know what? I'm going to... Nah, it's a push. It's got to be someone... So it's got to be someone, I guess, that hasn't won it before.
Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dean then. I can't really think of someone else that... Because my whole logic on anything is I don't think anyone that if they have not won a singles title, thinking old school, I don't think someone that's never won a singles title in WWE should win
the world title first.
So I'm going to, I don't agree with you on Bray. I think he should go for it. But if he does win a title, I do assume his first singles title is going to be the world title when he wins it. Next being heel and a face turn. Heel turn. I think it's going to be the most obvious. I think it would be as big or bigger than when Hulk Hogan first turned heel back in the 90s. John Cena needs to turn heel. He needs to be a bad guy. John Cena needs to be a bad guy. John Cena, it's time you turn. All right? So I hope my couple dollars gets to you or gets to somebody that gives a you know what. And as far as someone to turn face, I'll give it the obvious. Seth Rollins, when he comes back, he needs to be face.
It's a good one. And he will be.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. All right, I want to go with Dean Ambrose as well, but I also have an outside guy who deserves to be the world champion, Cesaro.
Oh, damn. That's
Very
good.
true.
Cesaro, I still don't see a lot of promo work out of him, and Vince continues to say he doesn't grab the brass ring, and he's only over because he's Swiss. I don't think so, because when he comes out, the crowd loses it. And who I think needs to turn heel, of course, Roman Reigns. The fans want to boo him. Let them boo him. They need to understand when they start booing him, that's when he'll get over.
Right.
They have to understand that because they have to hate him. They want to hate this guy. And if you want to turn him face, just have him punch out Vince again.
Yeah.
That's simple. It's not that hard. And who I think needs to turn baby face? This is a tough question because I think everybody who are heels are better as heels, and when they get face, they get watered down a little bit. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins as well.
I'm going to say Bo Dallas.
Really, Pashy baby?
Yeah, I think I just think he's hysterical. I know people like to boo him or whatever, but I think people like him.
Do you believe he will be a face?
I don't believe he will be a face, but I'd like to see him as a face. And I'd like to see him at least get some more time on TV because I think he's hysterical. He can work a little bit. Maybe one day we'll see it. I don't think it's
Any male that's doing Trish Stratus's finishing move should be over.
So, Justice, thank you for the question. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Justice.
We have one more question, I believe. I believe we're about to get to my favorite segment of the show.
The GOAT.
The GOAT, Ronald Lloyd, with another question.
I think this is the best question by
Oh.
far.
Is it? Okay.
We said Toronto.
All right. WWE announced that The Godfather will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I loved his character, especially when he made his entrance with the Ho Train. With that in mind, if you were a WWE superstar, which 3 women in WWE would you have accompany you to the ring? And why?
Okay, this is a very difficult question for me because, as I mentioned earlier, my affinity for women's wrestling, I like the advances they've made in their actual workers now and not just models who they throw out there to rip each other's clothes off. So, with that being said, you guys probably assumed I would say Sasha Banks immediately,
No, I
but
didn't.
I think she's too good for that.
I didn't. I expected mostly valets from you.
Yes, so I would say...
I didn't.
You didn't see that coming? So now I'm trying to think of people who I wouldn't mind being my... I'd say Lana.
Well played.
I would say Eva Marie. And who else would I say? I'd say Carmella.
Oh,
And that's not to disrespect Carmella. I know she has recently valeted Enzo and Cass. I think she's a good valet. I wouldn't mind being one of her boys.
oh.
All right, well, I think I'm going to answer this 100% the wrong way, and Ron, you're going to have to just accept my, you're going to have to accept my answer. So I'll keep it PG, and I'm not going to explain it why. I'm going to go all with alumni, which I guess I don't know if you asked for current people, but I'm going to go
No,
with
he didn't say it. He didn't.
I'm going to go with Trish Stratus. I'm going to go with Tori Wilson, and I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar's wife. I'm going to take Sable.
Nice. That's
Oh, wow.
That's a good trio.
All right.
I don't think anyone's going to beat that trio.
Probably not.
Well, can't go wrong with any of them. All right, so I'm going to go with Stacy Keibler.
Another good one.
For she's eye
The
candy.
Duchess of Dudleyville.
Duchess of Dudleyville. Because she's eye candy and she can distract anybody. You know how she distracts
Right.
people.
She's got them legs.
Yep. I'm going to go with Lita.
Okay, that's
Because-
another good one.
If I get into a tight spot,
She can really actually help you.
she can help me.
I got to guess when it's number 3.
Number 3 is the hardest because I'll debate between this all day. I'm still undecided on number 3.
Is it between two people?
It's so hard to choose.
I'm already wrong.
I don't want to be. If I was going to be a heel, I'd have Eva Marie to give me heel heat.
Well, you are a heel, so I guess that answered it.
Yeah, for me it was Eva Marie just because I'm like, you have no business actually being in the ring, so you might as well
I like her red hair, too. So
I'm gonna go with Nikki Bella.
Okay. I can see that too.
I thought you were going to say Mrs. Brooks.
AJ? She's another one that I think is too good to be my valet. Although she did a lot of good valeting back in the day.
Yeah.
So I can't take anything away from her. Well, Ronald, thank you as always
Thank
for your
you, Ronald.
question.
We appreciate
You
it.
gave us something to think about. That was a tough one for me. I didn't even know where I was going to go with that. Before we get out of here, first we'd like to thank you for tuning into another show. You can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Podbean and iTunes. Like us on Facebook. Get updates about the show. Starting on March 1st, we're going to try something that obviously we've never tried before. We're going to try March Madness with Matt Madness. We're going to come up with a March Madness style bracket of people based on their WWE careers. And we're going to kind of work down the bracket and see who is the greatest WWE performer of all time. We'd like you guys to discuss it on our Facebook page once it's up there. But as I said, March 1st, it should be available. We're not sure exactly how we're going to do this yet, but by the time it's up, we will know. So again, thank you for listening. We will see you again and speak to you again next week. Bye.